Welcome to Aquarian Anarchy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chad. We're going to get to our special guest here in just a moment. Marcus is in the wings waiting. We're going to read the quote real quick from Emma Goldman. The idealists and visionaries, foolish enough to throw caution to the winds and express their ardor and faith in some supreme deed, have advanced mankind and have enriched the world. And that is a great way to segue into what we did this weekend. Myself and the man at the bottom of the screen, the Podfather himself, the Grift Maniac Supreme, Mr. Jonesy.
What you gonna do, us, brother?
I'm not gonna do shit except rejoice that we finally have power. 3 days. I thought I was gonna die. They said there was gonna be 3 weeks, and then I was texting Marcus and Nicco. I was like, man, y'all, I don't know if this is gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the show tonight. Nicco's picking his dad up at the airport. Family first, so we give props to Nicco. We wish he was here. Hopefully he'll be able to join us a little bit later, but I doubt he will. But we had a hell of a weekend, didn't we? And yes, I can't wait to chop it up. That Marcus wanted to hear from us about our experiences and everything. So here's our chance to jump off into that. But man, it was a crazy start to the weekend, and then like it got weirder and weirder for me just because of that bitch Ida tearing at the Louisiana Gulf Coast and attacking my family while I was away. I had to hustle back, but made it back in time.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
We probably ought to get it.
I really wanted
a little bit into that.
We got some latency issues here.
Yeah, no, is that me or you guys?
I don't know. Marcus froze. Anyway, go ahead, Jonesy. What were you saying?
No, I just really, it was crazy that, how the weekend turned, because we were having such a great time. You know what I mean? We were building, meeting everybody. And then all of a sudden, Chad's like kind of walking around nursing the phone. And because I didn't know, like it's weird when you're in Vegas. It's like, there's not a lot of clocks around and stuff like that. If you're in a casino, it's almost like you're in this suspended animation. Yeah. And every time I go there, I feel like it's like one big long day and I don't ever go to sleep. It's just weird. So, Chad's walking around, he's looking at his phone and I could just see his demeanor change. And I'm like, bro, what's going on? And then I look on the news at the bar and it says a hurricane right smack dab in his home state, man. And my heart just went out to him because I know immediately as a dad and a husband, if you could fly home like Superman, you would, you know what I mean? And then, his whole focus just went from the Hotep weekend to that. And, he wasn't really able to enjoy the rest of the trip. And to be honest with you, for that matter, after I saw him stressed, I felt it too.
It hit Jonesy too. I could see like
man.
A palpable Jonesy was just kind of like, man, you all right, man? Man, it's okay. Enjoy yourself, bro. Like it's gonna be all right. And at a certain point, I got to give a shout out to the wonderful Queen Halima. Oh yes. She really held it down. Like she got so much of the stuff just like set up, like logistics and everything. And then when it came time, when all this stuff started coming down, she's trying to help me get flights to get back and everything. She's looking up stuff while she's like doing all this stuff. But the biggest thing I have to say, like this really like hit me. I'm sitting there and I'm stressed and I'm preoccupied. I'm thinking about like all this stuff. And I was saying like, look, I'm just really not, I'm not feeling it. I'm here, but I'm not here. She's like, listen, she's like, you are doing everything you can do. There are no flights into Baton Rouge. There are no flights into New Orleans. You can't get there. We're going to get you to Houston as soon as we can. And then you can drive back. She said, and knowing that you're doing everything that you can do, and you've already done everything that you can do, now you can allow yourself to just be present. And that was the night of the pool party. And I actually that was one of the moments where going out there to that area where they had the pool and everything, and Taylor and I had a real good discussion. I got to take him into the Aquarian Anarchy Indoctrination Chamber and answer some of his questions. That was a really good experience, but I really owe a lot to Halima for kind of calming me down and getting me into that mindset of like, okay, yeah, it doesn't do me any good to just keep looking to see where the storm is and where it's going and all this kind of stuff, because I don't have any control over that. And I've already done what I can. You know, like I'm not going to make it back before like Saturday midday, or not Saturday. It was Sunday midday, and I made it in right before the damn thing made landfall, and we were able to go fill up some sandbags. We didn't need them, but we filled them up anyway. But you never know. Like, it's always better to be prepared. So, but it was definitely it was tough to try to be there and really enjoy it, because that's when you do something like that, you want to try to like disconnect.
Yeah.
And like really just like focus and be there. And something like that happens, and you're immediately like, you don't want to be there anymore. Like, you do. Like, I wanted to be there, but not like that, you know? And so it made it really tough. But like I said, I gotta hand it to Halima. She helped kind of refocus me. And you too, like Jonesy, like you were there knowing that I had your support. That's what men do. That's what brothers do for each other, is we just kind of like, we commiserate, and because he knows like what it's like, you know, being a dad, having kids that you're trying to get back to see and take care of and everything. And then once I kind of settled into like that realization that I had already done everything I could do, and I was on my way when I was as soon as I could get out of there, I allowed myself to just kind of experience it as much as I could. I still was a little distracted, but got to really meet some awesome people. Finally got to meet Taylor Madden in person. Finally got to meet Halima in person. Got to meet Jonesy in person. I've already met Marcus in person, but we haven't met all of us together. There. Yeah, right. But you didn't get to meet all these folks together in person. Let
me tell you something. When we met in person, have you guys ever seen? Have you ever seen when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Carl Weathers shake hands at the beginning of at Predator?
Yeah, I have.
That's exactly what happened. Because Jonesy, you son of a bitch.
Nice.
It was beautiful. It was a little bit like that. Jonesy came off the plane all decked out in fucking Lakers gear like a dumbass, and I was like, golly, this guy.
Man, why do I gotta be a dumbass, man? I mean, what's wrong with you?
I'm just fucking with you, man. No, but it was so cool, like, and getting to meet Brody in person for the first time, and so I had already met Corey and Saul G before. I'm trying to go through all the different people who I got to meet.
You haven't met Brody before? You guys had a picture together, right? I thought you met Brody before.
Oh no, shit, that's right. My bad. I did meet Brody. I met Brody in Atlanta too. Fuck, I forgot.
Oh,
I hadn't seen Brody in person in a while. You're right. I did meet Brody over there in Atlanta for the Solutionary Summit last year. My bad, Brody. Don't hate. Bro, my head is fucking not here still. Like, I just
for sure.
If you saw the shit that we've been doing, I waited in line 3.5 hours today for gas for a generator, and now I just texted my sister. I was like, "Hey, I got all this gas. You can have it because I got power back now."
Bro, you know what's funny? When you get those Doomsday Preppers, times like this, they're like, "Who's the idiot now?"
Right,
50 barrels of fucking gas in their backyard.
Yeah,
right.
All right. So in my defense, I filled up 2 gas cans. I still had 2 full ones, and I had used 2 over 3 days. She filled up like 9. So, because she's going through them, she was burnt. I think she burned through. She ran her shit like nonstop for 18 hours, and I was like, "Look, you don't have to do all that. You just need to like run the refrigerator like 2 or 3 hours at a time for like, you know, every 4 or 5 hours or something like that. Just keep it cooling so that and then don't open it unless you really, really need to." But she had that shit running like nonstop, and I was like, "No, that's not necessary."
Yeah, talking about the Doomsday Preppers, I'm no Doomsday Prepper, that's for sure. But I'll tell you what, some shit hits the fan, I'm not going to be in the grocery store. I got enough food to last me a little while. Right. I am not going to be in. I'm not going to be in them stores.
Yeah, man.
So
I feel like a major dickhead for thinking that I hadn't met Brody before when I totally had.
Yeah,
me and Brody had like a 3-hour conversation, just the two of us when we were in Atlanta, where we were just like chopping it up and like we really bonded. And I was like, "Oh damn, man, I feel like a dick," but oh well. I am. What can I say? I'm an asshole.
Well, it's all right, man. That's the reason why I'm Brody's favorite and you're not.
Hey, look, man, you gotta be somebody's favorite, Jonesy. Might as well be Brody's.
I'm everybody's favorite.
Anyway, no, but like, and so one of the things that we did, you see, Jonesy's wearing the hat. I'm wearing the hat. Shout out to Phil Foster. Got to meet him out there. Really cool dude. We did we did probably about an hour, Jonesy, on his show, I think.
Yeah, we did an hour, man, and it was a powerful conversation that we had with Phil, man. Just everything, man. All of the conversations and all of the connections we made out there were very, very meaningful. You know what I mean? And you guys know I like to clown around a lot and everything, but this whole situation, man, had a major impact on me. You know what I mean? And it's very hard to explain unless you were in the room. I've been kind of trying to like search for the words to explain what happened out there, but it's just it was very profound, because when you get people who are trying to I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna go ahead.
No. I'm saying, like, when you get people who are trying to move in a certain direction together in the same room, and we've all been working together, we've all been podcasting together, we've all been writing together, we've all been having conversations. Like, I talk to Brody like every day. I talk to Chad every day. You know what I mean? And it's like, it goes beyond just, these weird people that I don't know. It's like, you feel like your family because you talk all the time, you know? And to actually be in a room and to spend time with him and have a drink with him, it was just amazing, man. And to meet Phil, man, Phil was just an amazing guy, man.
I had to put this up here, Trisha. I wasn't seeing this. I don't have my glasses on, so I got to look sexy for the camera. So anyway, she said the poop party was lit, but
that's right.
Clarified later.
And so here was Taylor.
Party.
Taylor was saying, "Shout out to everybody at Hotep Nation weekend." Taylor's in the audience watching. Shout out to Taylor. He did it right. Like, he's there's some stuff coming. Y'all don't even know about it yet. I'm not gonna say, but Taylor has been putting work in, and y'all are gonna be amazed at the shit that came out of this weekend from an elements standpoint as we go forward with what Hotep Nation is bringing to the table. Nice. Jonesy knows what I'm talking about because he was involved too. There's a lot of stuff that we did. We did some really cool stuff out there.
I tell you what, we had our Ocean's 11s moment. And it was glorious.
Yes, indeed. But no, it was good, and it was good to see. So we had like Olivia Rondeau was out there as well. Patriot J, got to meet him in person finally. Got to see Hotep Virgin Mary. She was out there. I don't know if y'all remember, but Marcus, when we had Hotep With It on way back when, and we talked about the yellow square that got posted that was Hotep Virgin Mary who posted that. So anyway, got to meet her. That was really cool. There were just so many people. Forgive me if I'm forgetting. I didn't write down a list before I came on. I've been dealing with some shit since I got back home. So if I left anybody out, please forgive. Chaz Desmond was out there. Hunter Miller. We had some guys coming out who some either with the Mogul Summit or other different things. So and just associated with Hotep Nation who check out all our stuff. So it was really cool. It was a great weekend to meet people. But the biggest part about it was, like Jonesy was saying, we'd like to goof off. We like to clown around. We like to have fun and party and everything. But we really had like some meaningful discussions. We had some meaningful like meeting of the minds where we put together some plans for like how we're going to do what we're doing better. We made some moves with like how the project that Jonesy and I have been working on is gonna evolve with Ant and Hotep Jesus. That stuff was really productive, and we got a lot of great shit coming. So it was epic. And I mean, it's Vegas, so like you know, we went out a little bit and did a little bit of stuff too, and that was pretty fun. I lost $40 on a slot machine, and that was about the extent of it.
400.
Yeah, I quit there. I got 100 out of the ATM, and I put 40 in, and I was like, you know what? I lost that 40 real quick, so I'm gonna stop right now while I'm behind and not lose any more because I need to be able to tip some of these waiters and stuff. The wait staff. Shout out to Brody. Like, I know I fucked up and like said I hadn't met him before, even though I had, but I have to say, Brody held us down at the fucking Ahern Hotel, and shout out to that whole crew. Like the meals were off the chain, the accommodations were amazing, like the space was beautiful. Jonesy could probably go into a little bit more detail about like what he saw that might have impressed him, but I was blown away.
I mean, just the accommodations were incredible. Just the whole setup of the hotel, the rooms, the size of the rooms. I mean, just the food that we had, man. I think I probably gained 5 pounds, man. It was incredible.
I know I did.
Yeah, it was incredible, man.
I was back up to 215 when I got back. I was like,
let me tell you something. You talking about 5-star accommodations, man. 5-star accommodations, 5-star meals, great conversation. I mean, state of the art dining room, state of the art facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to get some great content when we were down there too. We were able to link with my man Ken and Hotep, man. That was Cannon and his wife, man.
Cannon Hotep, yeah, shout out to Cannon Hotep.
Man, that was a blessing, man. It was a blessing, man, to meet Saul G and his wife, Corey, from Middle Pass Media. Was there too. Cassius Cam, man, great brother, man, great brother, man. It was just amazing, man, connecting with all of them guys, man.
Oh, shout out to Tim Free, who one of our patrons. God damn, how did I forget Tim? Tim came out there, not just showed up. But showed up
the Aquarian Anarchy
Great Again shirt and everything.
Yo,
nice.
He was repping the set big time. He had the whole thing with the.
We gotta get Jonesy one of our shirts too.
Oh man,
I think I'm gonna make that happen.
Hey, man! I want to order another sweatshirt. My wife freaking dried it and messed it up. She dried it and I think she did it on purpose. She's like, why? She's like, why you gotta tell everybody you're an anarchist?
Don't act like you didn't want to wear a medium the whole time anyway.
What are you talking about, man? Listen, I'm not talking about the size of the shirt. I'm talking about the actual iron on. Yes, now it's just a black sweatshirt with. It looks like an ink blot. Yeah, man, I got to get another one, man. I love that. So that's my favorite sweatshirt, man. I have a Anaheim Angels hat. I wear with it all the time. I love that sweatshirt.
Nice. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I wish I could have made it out there. Amber and I talked about it over the weekend. We talked about how we felt our heart went out for Chad because we knew he was going through some shit, and we talked about that. And but Amber and I talked about it because I've had similar experiences with LP stuff. Oh,
Jonesy took himself out.
I think so. All right. So, you all right, man?
Oh, you,
Jonesy, you good? Oh no.
Yeah, no, I'm all good. No, I'm sorry. I just gotta. I didn't want to say this on air. I gotta run to the door. I think the fire department's at my door.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right, right on. No, but I've had similar experiences to a degree. The difference is like when I went to Texas with Adam, or I went to Arizona with Adam. I also went to Louisiana, but that kind of made sense that it was all work. But it was hard. I worked my fucking ass off the entire time. I walked around like a madman trying to, talk to people and do my job, trying to get people, interviewed and those kinds of things. And
that's kind of how I feel like Brody was this weekend. He was like, trying to enjoy, meeting or even though I had met him before, or seeing people again, getting to spend time with people. Like you want to hang out and chill with your friends. We don't get to see each other that often in person. And Brody's doing that, but he's also, and Halima too. Like they were both like kind of they were like what I was feeling towards the end. They felt like that the whole time, where they were torn between the logistics and actually being able to enjoy and really, really relax. And so, I get a lot of credit to them, and Hotep Jesus too, because a lot of the stuff was kind of taken care of before, but he still had to do a lot of the, because he was kind of the leader, the kingpin of the whole thing. But no, they were dealing with a lot of logistics stuff and everything, and trying to make it as enjoyable for everybody else, so that we just got to wake up in the morning and go to breakfast. But they made sure that we all had, breakfast taken care of. Right. And when Jonesy gets back, we're going to talk about breakfast, because holy shit.
Nice.
Holy shit, breakfast. I got to throw one to Patriot J. Holy shit. That was the breakfast. Whew, it was good shit. But no, it was. I want to let you finish what you were saying about the stuff that you did with with the LP I was just and how.
Yeah, I was just saying that it was different though, because with the LP, there's people that hate my ass. There's people that because I'm not this particular kind of libertarian that they didn't like me, and so I really I would really like, Amber and I had a conversation, and if we can, you look around at a bunch of Hoteps. Look, who's that big fat white guy? Oh, that's Marcus.
Oh, you wouldn't have been alone. We had the white Hotep contingent there. It's all good. You'd have fit in just perfect. Plus, dude, you'd have been a fucking rock star over there, man. You know how many people love you? You're
I don't know about
time.
that, but
you're big time, Marcus. No, you're big time. You just don't know it. Trust me.
Shit.
Yeah. No, you don't know, but it's true.
Well,
but
either
shout
way,
shout out to Phil Foster and George, who was out there doing all that stuff, because they were. I had never met them before, and I had just seen like Phil on like a couple of our little Twitter spaces, and it was they were like some of the coolest people. It was really. I was like, damn, man, this just out of nowhere. Here come these guys that are like totally down with the work we're doing, and they want to like collaborate. We're going to be doing some stuff with them and everything. Cool. Shot this real cool interview and everything. And George is like a great photographer. He was shooting all kind of pictures. He was like taking everybody's phone. Like he had his own camera, but then he was also like, if you had a phone, he's like, I'll take your pictures. And he's like taking like 19 different angles and shit while you're doing it all in like 20 seconds.
Very cool.
It was way better than being at a family reunion. So.
No doubt. And yeah, well, because, I love family, don't get me wrong, but I mean, the ideas, one of the things that I think really makes the whole Hotep Nation a very good ally for us is, one, we're not trying to fucking just be, intellectual, although we're capable of doing intellectual shit, but we're also interested in getting to the heart. And these are those kinds of people. They're just the kind of people that really, spells. These are the people that are going to help free the world, because let's be blunt, screaming at somebody that they're wrong isn't the way you convince anybody of shit. And, one of the things that I said today, just actually probably about an hour ago, is, people are constantly being divided and conquered. The thing is, some people say, well, some of those Hoteps are pretty statist. Okay. So was I. I was statist not too long ago. There are people today. I personally think that I am about as anarchist as you can get. But there are people that think I'm statist because I don't care to fuck with the LP once in a while. Right. So that shit's bullshit. To me, it's going to take a bunch of different people really caring to make the world a better place. And those are people that have ideas, and not just ideas about freedom, but ideas about, business and entrepreneurship. And really, I just talked to a guy this past weekend about the ideas that Yancey's put into my head about the Hotep and Build ideas. Talked to a guy who owns Michael introduced me to, who owns a storage business. And because one of the many things we were looking at was a possible storage business. And he told us, don't do that. No, that's a bad idea. And I explained why. He said, when I did it, yeah, I made some money, but that's about to go away. So you don't want to do that. And he gave us some ideas about how we can develop in this area. One of the things we're talking about is, trying to build basically a trailer park. And he said, well, even if you can't do the trailer park, get the slabs and shit put in, and have it to where people can have their RVs parked there for a year, and then develop from that. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea, Right. So those are the kinds of people.
Sorry, I've been eating in your ear the whole time, but damn,
it's all good.
I'm over here because I don't have internet at my house. We just got power back, but I don't have no internet. But damn, this lasagna's banging.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, that's a big part of it, is that I was going to say, a lot of people talk about how politics is downstream of culture. You good?
Oh yeah,
everything's good. All right, you came back quick, so hopefully that means it's good stuff.
Yes, all good.
But politics is downstream of culture, and that's a big part of, as much as anything else. I think this is less a political movement and more and even less like an intellectual movement, and more of like a cultural movement. This is about reestablishing
dominion,
what the nuclear family looks like, what men are supposed to be doing to to be the anchor and the leadership of that, and the provider and the protector of that, and then also like how everything else kind of like fills in with that and makes it to where we have this symbiosis that makes us stronger than we are separate. Yeah. So and if you can do that, and if you can build a culture like that is kind of countercultural, now you actually have something that's worth being a part of and worth contributing to, because it doesn't make a shit if you go get one city council member elected if the whole rest of the culture is fucked, because that's what's going to drive everything else. What you have to do is you have to like lead and provide an example, and then your element of that culture kind of insulates itself from some of the bullshit and keeps your head on a swivel to where you're able to move and shake. And that's where like being in the room with some of these, I really feel like, and I told my wife this before I left, and I still haven't given up hope on Miami for this weekend, but it's looking pretty bleak. My shit out of New Orleans got canceled for obvious reasons. I'm trying to see if there's another way to do it, but I'm probably going to have to stick around and stay home. But we got power, all that stuff's good. But anyway, the ability to be in the same room with some of these people, these are like, I think like really heavy hitters who I would say are like on par with, we talk about like Thomas Payne, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Patrick Henry, like that's I'm not even gonna fucking like downplay it. That's who we are to me. We are those people again. I'm talking about you too, Marcus. Don't say cool. Like I'm not bullshitting. Like,
I don't think you're bullshitting.
We have a squad of people, and I'm not just talking about the little group of people that we've had on our podcast or anything like that. But like when you combine like that with like all of Hotep Nation, with the folks in that are doing some of the good stuff in the LP, then you take that to like Maj and the Solutionaries and that group, and you bring all this stuff together, and you see like how this stuff is moving. It's building enough momentum, and that snowball is growing in size enough to where the Sean Hannitys and Rush Limbaughs of the world are going to look like, wow, remember when those guys thought they were shaping culture?
Well, Rush Limbaugh, if for him to look at anything right now, that'd be pretty fucking amazing because he's dead.
I'm talking about people looking at him. I'm not saying Rush Limbaugh to look at it. Anyway, you know what I'm saying?
These guys are making a difference.
No, I really feel like that. I think there's something powerful about like actually not being afraid to say that shit too. You know, a lot of times we shrink away from that stuff, and we have like a false humility with some of that stuff. And
I never have had a false humility. I just want to say, hey, listen, Podfather, George Washington.
I waited until you got back to show this. Daryl wanted to let you know his girlfriend hijacked his Black Guns Matter and Aquarian Anarchy sweatshirts.
That's awesome.
So it could be worse.
That's awesome.
That would be better if your wife just took it and then like was like repping it. Then that would be better.
Nah, she didn't do it on purpose, man. I just screwed around with it. She just, you know what I'm saying? You know, I come there, you know what I mean? I'm not the smallest guy in the world. I got an anarchy sweatshirt on with a Raider hat and looking all, you know, with army fatigue pants and boots and shit. I'm not the most inviting person in the world. You know what I mean? When I'm sitting there at my kids freaking cheerleading and stuff like that, I'm sitting there looking
with your shades on like you're in the CIA or something like that.
Yeah, you know how I do, man. Like, so like people are looking at me.
Are you looking at me, kid?
Right, but see,
and the kid's like, I wasn't looking at you. I wasn't looking at you.
Right. For me, I'm like that would be my typical what I want. And like that's the image that I would love to have. Like, because for me, I like being kind of a teddy bear with a potty mouth. I like the idea of, you know,
that's it.
I like the idea.
You're the real life embodiment of Billy Bob Thornton's Bad Santa.
Yeah, I've been calling him Bad Santa. He's definitely Bad Santa.
Definitely Bad Santa.
I'm with that. But I'm with Jonesy though. I claimed, to try to shoot, and for that matter, you, Chad. I'm all about. I'm shooting at Thomas Payne. I certainly think that we have that kind of potential, and I really do think that the Hotep Nation has the better, I guess, branding is the better way to put it, because you don't watch Hotep's Been Told You just because they talk about the news. You watch it because it's funny. You watch it because you get to laugh along with them, and that kind of environment is constructive, and it brings people together. In a world where they're trying to get us pitted against each other, whether it's based on race or sexual orientation or whatever the hell it is that they're trying to break us into division. Today it's been abortion, whatever it is they're trying to break us apart with. When there's a unifying message like the Hotep Nation has, that's powerful shit, and that it can be transformative. And
can I take an opportunity to dig into something you just said? You said so there's some shit going on about abortion today.
Yeah, about some abortion.
Oh, okay. So let me break it down for everybody real quick. All right. Let me tell you what the fuck is really going on in this world. All right, Jonesy, you just came back from y'all got some shit going on with a storm. Y'all got like tornadoes and shit popping and everything. We just dealt with this the first wave of that shit, Hurricane Ida, coming through, tearing through Louisiana, going through Mississippi and all the way up Tennessee and everything else. Let me tell you what my day consisted of today. My day today consisted of, where's the gas? How are we gonna get food ready? Who needs gas? Who needs limbs picked up? Who needs limbs cut up? And that kind of shit. That's what we're dealing with. All right. So I just want to bring that into perspective, because when you're dealing with the shit that really matters at the ground level, and that like is really like life and death for some people, all these divisive issues on a national scale don't even fucking register. I had no idea that was even a topic. I've been that disconnected, because instead it's been about, like, I'm sitting in the car. My sister's a nurse practitioner. She's trying to make sure like her patients and stuff like that have like the medication that they need, because they're running out and they don't have a way to get to it because all the pharmacies are closed and all this other shit is closed, and like nobody has power, and trying to figure out where you're going to get this and where you're going to get that. Those are the kinds of things that are going on in people's everyday lives, and all this other stuff that is meant just to divide people on politics and divide people on who's going to be president in 3 years, and all this other nonsense that I wrote an article today about, and I talked about how people think that the social responsibility is going into a booth, standing in line and going into a booth and pushing a button once every 4 years. Meanwhile, there's all this other shit going on in your neighborhood, and you wonder why the shit that's happening is happening. The reason why is because you're not doing the stuff at your local level, either with yourself first. First, take care of yourself. Once you've taken care of yourself, now take care of your family, lead your family, protect your family, teach your family, and provide for your family. Now they're kind of, in a way, they're almost like you've inoculated them from the bullshit. My kids come back from school and they tell me, they're like, look at this, look at what my teacher said. That's how they tell me that stuff. They're not getting indoctrinated by that stuff. They're coming back and they tell me, like, look at this dumbass. Look at what this bullshit they tried to teach me. Like, and then listen to what I said when they said that shit. Like, that's how that stuff works. And then from that you build out to your community. My son went across the street, helped the older folks across the street pick up branches and stuff in their yard, clean up the debris and everything. Like, these are the things that, if we're doing those things, a lot of that other stuff really starts to not matter anymore, because people actually feel like somebody cares about them. And it's harder to divide people. It's harder to divide people even on this stab, no stab dividing line that's been drawn, when my next door neighbor, who the last time we had something like this, we had a big storm. The lake flooded and it pushed a bunch of debris up into his yard. My boys went over there and cleaned up his debris. He's older. They just went over there and cleaned all the stuff up. Well, now if the issue comes up like, hey, did you guys get the thing? Well, now he can't really say like, well, you don't care about me.
Right.
And you don't care about me. You must not care about me. You're selfish because you won't get that thing stuck in you. Like, oh, really? I'm selfish? Me who went over like unsolicited and went over there and like cleaned your shit out of your yard so you didn't have to do it? I don't care. I'm selfish? Fuck out of here. Look, so anyway, man, but it's not even from that. It's not even coming at it from that standpoint. But what it does is it disarms a lot of that animosity that people sometimes have. And you see it a lot on social media. That's why, like, I think the social media stuff, the 24-hour news cycle, and all the other stuff, the TV shows and everything, is a way of just like getting us into this like false world.
Bro, look, all of this stuff, all of these years, in art, they say, life imitates art or art imitates life, however that goes. If you look at like George Orwell's 1984, having a 24-hour news cycle is just that. Mm-hmm. It's that big screen indoctrinating you with that message all the time. You have on a phone on your hip. That's the mark of the beast. It's for sure. That's with you all the time. That's the microchip that they put in. You don't have to put it in you. It's external. And now they're trying to put something in you with like, I don't want to get into all of the conspiracy, because they're flagging channels for conspiracy theories. But
even that we don't know. Like, I don't have to know to know that I don't want the shit.
Yeah, look. Right. So I'm not even gonna let's transition away from the jab. Right. But what I will tell you is this: what I saw this weekend was what really matters. Mm-hmm. You have people from different walks of life, different ethnicities, different parts of the country come together with a commonality, right? And build something, build relationships that are gonna last forevermore. I didn't think one time, man, about what color somebody was, what religion somebody was, what sexual orientation somebody was. I didn't care. Mm-hmm. We were just all there building, having a good time, building relationships. And I keep saying build, because that's what this was all about. Brody is the person who put that whole saying out there, Hotep and build. Facts. And let me tell you something, man, that is the most succinct way I can explain everything that transpired, man. Absolutely. Hotep Jesus and Doe and all of them guys and you know what I'm saying, and MG and like the architects of this stuff, man. Mm-hmm. The vision that they had is being realized on a micro level. And it's gonna spread, because we had people who were there in the hotel with us that were so intrigued about what was going on. They didn't know what it was. They were sitting there and they would like, what is it? Is it a religious group? Because it's Hotep Jesus, so they're thinking it's a religious group. Right. They're like, oh, don't serve them any alcohol. We're like, whoa, easy, easy. We're not that.
And hit this.
Yeah. If you smelled outside, you could tell that. No, I'm just.
Whoa. Look at this guy.
I'm just saying, like, you could tell people had gas. That's all.
Yeah, and it was crazy, man, because during the meeting, the FBI showed up. And when the FBI showed up, they looked suspiciously like Chad.
Hang on. Let me see if I can find. I just have the there's the. I don't know if everybody can see it, but.
Oh my God! Is that really an FBI agent, or is that you?
That's me. That's me in my FBI costume.
I was like, what the fuck?
6 weeks prior to Hotep Nation weekend, I ordered an FBI costume on Amazon.
That's funny.
And,
he actually got it from Quantico.
That's great. Oh shoot! No, but it was good. You. So it was awesome. Funny. I was trying to figure out how I was gonna do that whole thing, and they did this thing where they were interviewing folks. Like Hotep Jesus was interviewing people before Hotep's been told you on Thursday. And he brought like Cassius Cam up. He brought Jonesy up. He brought Canon Hotep up. I'm trying to think of who else he brought up there. Anyway, he brought a bunch of different. Saul G went up there. Yeah. And then then Unc comes up there and they do the show, and as they start the show, they start going into like, yeah, man, this thing almost didn't happen. They tried to cancel us and all this kind of stuff, and they tried to shut us down and all this stuff. And I was like, this is it. This is the moment right now. So I run back. I had it all set up. I had it in my laptop bag, and it was like in between these two curtains that they had like back behind the crowd. And so I just went in, I hid behind one of the curtains. I grabbed the jacket, threw it on, grabbed the hat, threw it on. I bought these sunglasses for like $12 at Target the day before I left for the trip. And so I just charged up the middle of the aisle or whatever like that. And I was just like, I'm here to shut this thing down right now.
You're like, be here. We're here to shut this damn thing down in the name of the federal government.
That's right. That's
awesome.
Oh shit. So it was fun. Like we had a lot of fun, but it definitely was serious. And yeah, and I didn't want to, I was going through all the people who everybody didn't obviously expect to be there. But I failed to mention Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, Doobs, and then MG, like the founders of Hotep Nation. It was a great weekend to get all those people in the same building together and talk about a lot of the same types of visions, but with our own little flavor to it, our own angles to it, and our own talents. Like everybody doesn't have the same talents. And I thought it was really cool. Like Taylor and I had a good conversation, apart from the Aquarian Anarchy Indoctrination Chamber episode that we had at the pool party in person. It's the first ever. Taylor, like he's one of a kind. He got that special treatment. But no, we had another conversation when we were up working on some other stuff, some video work and everything. And I was telling him, like, look, man, like the thing that I love about Hotep Nation is that everybody is building for what the vision is. Yeah. And there's so little ego behind it, because if it were an ego driven thing, I might feel threatened by Taylor. Taylor does similar stuff than I do, does a lot of it way better than I do. Because I had, I put together a little intro video and everything last April for the show for Hotep's Been Told You, and I was kind of proud of that thing. And then Taylor has he's got so much more knowledge of this stuff. He's been working with the Adobe Premiere, all these different softwares and everything, and he's got all this gear and knows how to use it. Like he's using this stabilizer camera and all this stuff, doing all these wild ass shots, getting all this cool stuff. If it were an ego thing, I would feel threatened by that, because it's no, I was the video guy first. Oh shit, here we go. Who's that? Oh, that's you. All right.
Yeah. Sorry.
I thought, well, it could be here. You never know. Anyway, I could feel threatened by that. Like, hey, wait, I'm the video guy. I was the video guy first. What are you doing coming in here on my territory? But no, I was like, no, this is great, because what I had envisioned for where I thought this stuff could go, I'm not capable of doing it. I have a full-time job that makes it really difficult. I'm driving too much. I can't sit in front of the computer. My computers, I don't have the resources that, in terms of how fast the computer is at doing
equipment, everything, all the way around,
all that stuff. And the expertise, he's just he does this stuff like that. And he's teaching me stuff. That's the other thing that's cool, because I don't have an ego. Now Taylor's teaching me how to do stuff.
Right.
This guy who's younger than me is teaching me how to do stuff so that I can be better, and we're helping each other. And the Grifties are what they are because Taylor was like, hey, we're going to do this thing, but I need your help. And he wasn't like, hey, fuck you, I don't need you, old man. He was like, no, look, I need you to kind of help with this stuff. You do what you're good at. I'll do what I'm good at. We work together. And that's how that thing happened, the way that it happened with the video clips and everything. And so that's just a little small example of how I think so much of this stuff just kind of meshes together. We have all these different skill sets coming together, all these different drives and visions coming together, but the main vision is the same vision. And that's what's beautiful.
Yeah. You have guys like Taylor who would have never in a million years run into a guy like me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And never in a million years. Yeah. And we had a great conversation.
We have it.
We had a great conversation, man. We had a great time. And it's just that's what it's all about. It's about building a real nation.
Yep.
It's nation building. When you talk about building, what we've done is we have people who can actually help each other.
Right.
For real, voluntarily at a micro level, we can all help each other. We can all put everything that we're doing together and make something great collectively. And the only thing that you got to realize is that, you know, one, put your ego to the side. Two, check all your preconceived notions about people to the side, all your prejudices, all your nonsense. Just check that stuff to the side. And if you just open up to people and you're good to people, they'll be good to you, man. And it's really, it was very, very humbling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just proud of Hotep Jesus. I'm really proud of him. You know what I mean? Because I known him a really, really long time, and he's a buddy of mine. And it just to see, you know, him manifest something like this, you know, like when he was younger, trying to get on and doing his thing, getting his message out there, and to find people and to connect all of these people is just a beautiful thing to see, man. It really is. I can't express how, you know, and I know this episode, you know, we've talked about it, but this episode, we really, I don't know, man. You know, it's nothing. I don't feel like this is something to joke about. I think now more than ever in this world, we need to connect. They've spent 2 years trying to break everybody apart. They spent 2 years trying to freaking kill everybody's spirit, make everybody feel isolated, make everybody feel like they don't matter and they're insignificant and they don't have any rights. And they try to make people feel like they what they want to do in their life and their hopes and their dreams don't matter. Like you're just part of this like consortium of the machine. But let me tell you something. What this shows me is, man, I just bumped into a bunch of people who feel the same way I do. And I bumped into a bunch of people who are willing to put, you know, everything on the line just to make things better. You know what I'm saying? And we're not even talking about doing anything wrong or anything, man. It's just putting everything on the line in a sense where, like, hey, man, some people, you know, might have not been able to afford to do that. Maybe there's a bill that won't get paid because they came out there. Because you had a lot of younger people who were not in a position in life that I'm in and that Chad is in. There's a lot of young people there. And that makes me hopeful for the future. You have more people that were younger, you know what I mean, than us old farts. This was a movement that was oversaw by the elders and it was carried out by the young people. And it's just a beautiful thing, man. And I don't mean to talk too much, but
no, man, you're talking plenty.
That's what I felt too. That's what I felt too.
The thing is, what you're talking about is the dream. You know, we like to label shit. We like to say, you know, I'm an anarchist, or I'm a Hotep, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. And ultimately, none of that shit really matters. What matters is what's in people's hearts. And, you know, it is that, you know, comes back to what I talked about earlier, where, you know, it is a movement that brings people together. You know, ultimately, this was started, you know, the whole idea of the Hotep Nation was largely built on, you know, Black identity. And look at me. You can get a whole lot more white than me. And
I don't know.
I feel
look a little like Danny Glover.
Right on. Oh, there's a little glare. It's down here. But
there he goes again.
So, but you know, I feel like within the Hotep Nation, I feel that I'm accepted, that I'm welcomed, that I'm appreciated within the Hotep Nation, and man, that's powerful shit. And when you put principles with it, when you're not only welcoming, but you're saying, okay, you're welcome here, but we're going to be good to folks. We're going to build together. We're going to do the things that Jonesy talked about. We're going to put ideas to the road and get them done. You know, we're going to talk about technology. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about all of these different ideas, and we're going to put people together that have different ideas and see what comes out of that. When you add that to the marketing of Hotep Nation, man, this is just the infancy of what this is going to become. And who knows, it may morph, it may change, it may evolve into something that's slightly different. We don't know. But it is a movement, and it's powerful. And that power is moving from group to group to group. You know, there is now a contingent of Hotep adjacent people in the Mises Caucus in the Libertarian Party because of Hotep Jesus and because of Chad and those kinds of people doing that. There, you know, you have Olivia, for instance, interviewing anarchists, you know, whether it's right. You're talking about Carrie Wedler,
and then going on Tim Pool and, you know, and
right.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
It's funny. I was about to rename Chad Hotep Mises.
No, maybe we save that for Michael Heiss. We'll try to get Heiss on and we can talk about that. But so right. I wanted to say, like, both of y'all kind of touched on this. Yes, not to downplay, this is huge that you have all these people, all these like-minded folks coming together and building together and this meeting of the minds where we collaborate and we build together and we meet in physical proximity, so that because there's a different energy there. It was palpable. You could feel it. You could taste it. It was like, it was real. Like there was power in that building. Okay.
That's what she said. Oh,
hey, but
for sure.
But beyond that, it's what it does for other people who are looking from the outside, looking in, and who have a hunch, who have an idea, who have an inkling of like what some of the answers are, but they can't put a name to it. They can't put words to it. We are there to help put words to it, to give that a voice that they can look at it and be like, aha, because that's a lot of it. That's where it was for me, with whether it was watching some of Adam's stuff, 10, 12 years ago. And then as it evolved, it was, looking at Tom Woods and some of these other folks, and then like reading Rothbard, and like you start to see this, like, it's like, okay, wait, so I'm not crazy. Like the shit that I think and that I feel in my heart, someone has actually like put a whole lot of thought and research into this, and they've actually like they've taken me from like 0 to 100 instantly,
right?
And hopefully we can do that same thing, because that's where when I started to pay attention to what Hotep Jesus and Uncle Hotep were doing 3 years ago, I started to see, oh, wait a second, like these guys are saying a lot of the same things that I'm saying and that I think, and that a lot of the people who I already pay attention to are saying, but they're also saying some other stuff that I think is really, really important. And so rather than argue with that stuff, which I may not completely agree with 100% of it, I think they need to be amplified. I think they need to be, I need to start getting more people to like listen to them and hear what they have to say, because I think that it's important. And now you started to see this spreading, and I call it cross-pollination, because I think that's what we have is you have this like hybridization of this stuff where you have like, there's a little bit of Mises, a little bit of Rothbard, a little bit of Hotep, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of like, I don't know, Nation of Islam, Fruit of Islam sort of stuff. There's all these different, like these little spices and seasonings on this beautiful smorgasbord that we have that really, really appeals to where I think the answers are for how we get to where we want to go.
Right. And the thing is, there was a reason. I brought one of the heads of the Black Panthers up on purpose. And the reason is because, those people had ideas. Most of them were socialist. Let's just be clear. Most of them were socialist. But
avowedly so. Like they were outspoken. Right. Yeah.
For sure. But it was because they were oppressed. And those people were looking for solutions. Those people were looking to stand together, and we're talking about a popular movement. People don't realize how big the Black Panthers were. And when you start adding to what the Black Panthers have, what we have, what anarchists have, you start putting those things together. Oh my God. the state is got to be trembling in their shoes, because you get a bunch of ideologues like myself or like Chad or frankly Jonesy, like you, because whether or not you want to admit it or not, you are. You put people like us, thinkers, together with people of action. Oh shit. That's when revolutions happen. That's when, and I'm not talking about violent revolutions. I'm talking about people standing up and saying, I will take this shit no more. I will not be chained. I will not be held down. And that is the strength that the Hotep Nation brings together, because it has those less socialist ideas, those less, it embraces the free market and embraces the ideas of freedom and puts it in front of the people palatably. And when you mix those two things, man, that can almost be unstoppable. And I think it comes back to where we started this. The last time I'm aware of that kind of energy came together was in the 1770s. And you have that kind of energy. People like, because ultimately you had thinkers like Thomas Payne or Benjamin Franklin or those kinds of people, but you also had people like Ethan Allen or any dozen of other. George Washington's another good example of people who are men of action. And when they came together, they were unstoppable, and they changed the entire world.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, I don't really know. Now I feel uncomfortable sometimes, talking about something that like juxtaposing the two. So for myself, this is just me speaking for me. I think that this whole movement and what we're a part of is something that we can't really quantify because it's never been done.
Sure.
And it's just, that's the most important thing. I think that's what makes it special. I think that when you look back on this in 10, 20 years, they're going to use this movement as an example to have what's right about people connecting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this is not about power, man. This is about putting people together to make the world better. This isn't about hurting. Nobody's trying to hurt anybody. Nobody's trying to indoctrinate anybody, anything. Only thing we want, I'm just going to speak for me. I can't speak for everybody else. Only thing I want is I just want everybody to have the latitude and the space to live the life they want to live. For sure.
Yeah, and absolutely. I want to say one thing though about the power, because Doe and I actually talked about this when he was prepping for his keynote speech about this notion of power. And I understand what you're saying. This isn't about like gaining some sort of like unjust authority and like control and like power mongering over people. And I agree wholeheartedly, but I think that we have been Orwellian newspeaked into this notion that like to speak of power is to speak of something that is either evil or is less authoritarian, desirable, and it becomes authoritarian. And I will say, like, the opposite of power is powerlessness. It's not kindness. So I think that like power, something coming from power is okay when it comes from the place of like empowerment, like being unafraid to stand up and be who you are, and to lock arms with people who you can stand shoulder to shoulder with and fight the good fight together. And so I'm not saying that to crack on that, because I know what you were saying, and you're right. Like this isn't about like taking some sort of dominion over everyone or anything like that. This is about standing in our own, spot, 10 toes down, and saying, we're standing up to this.
Power is the capacity or the ability to direct, influence or behavior of others, right? If we're using it in that context, right? Because we're not using it in energy. You know what I mean? So when you do that, you can exert dominance upon others. So that's why I get uncomfortable with power and having quote unquote power. I get uncomfortable with that, or having physical strength, right? I see. My thing is that all of this is a school of thought that is a voluntary school of thought. It is exactly what you guys talk about all the time. I think that's the reason why, there's such a symbiosis between the Hotep Nation and what you guys do with anarchy. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why it all resonates with me. So, like you get a guy like me who was just kind of, I have my thoughts and I've had things that I believe, but I feel like since I've locked back in with the homies, you know what I mean? I personally feel like it's made me better because now I can quantify all the things I've been feeling all these
There
years.
you go. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. That's exactly what I was talking about. It's like, that's what I think that like part of our mission is to be that place where somebody can say, all right, I think this is what I'm thinking, but like, I don't, it feels, you almost feel homeless to a certain extent. Like nobody else thinks the way I do.
It's like a man without a country.
Then when you find this group of other people, it's like, holy shit, there's not only am I not alone, but holy fuck, like there's a whole bunch of us and they're all really smart,
cool,
and really good at shit, like they're really cool. Yeah, like it's a whole different vibe than like, going to like the fucking, your favorite comic book character of all time is Spider-Ham, and like you go to the Spider-Ham convention and there's like 4 of you, like it's a whole different vibe.
Right. And I want to.
I'm sorry, Jonesy, if Spider-Ham is your favorite comic book character. I didn't mean to like troll you. But.
So I kind of want to get back to the power discussion to a degree. One of the things that in Thelema, which is the philosophy of Aleister Crowley, for those who haven't been scared yet.
Mr. Crowley.
Exactly. But in that philosophy, there are 3 primary focuses or energies, if you will, and they are Nuit, Hadit, and Ra-Her-Kohet. And Nuit is a Egyptian goddess of the night sky, and she represents love.
French is Nuit.
Right. And so she represents love. Then Hadit is intelligence. He is the mind. And Ra-Her-Kohet is power. And each of those individually, Nuit is just love. That's all she is. There is nothing else to her. She has no knowledge. She has no power at all. And she's ineffectual. And you have Hadit, who is all about intellect, and he has nothing of love or power. And he can't do anything because he just thinks a lot, and you can't put that into action. And Ra-Her-Kohet is all about power, and he's destructive and fuck shit up all the time and that kind of energy because he has no knowledge and no love. But you put those 3 together and you wind up with Hooper-Kroth, which is the god of silence. And with that, you get this silent power that is imbued with love, knowledge, and power. And when you get those 3 things in equal portions, you're unstoppable because you know when to pull back, you know when to stop. That's the love portion. You know what you're doing, and you have the power to make it happen. And that's what the Hotep Nation is gaining. They're not there yet, I don't think, but it's on its way. It is, and the time that Crowley talked about that this energy would begin coming into play is really now. It really is this time. And we are facing some of the dying energies of a past that is gone. What we recognize as statism or is whatever evil shit that the world has been doing, that time is coming to an end. And people are going, oh, that doesn't make any sense at all. That doesn't make any sense because I look out and there's the COVID crap and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Right. But they would not be having to put propaganda on your TV every single night if they had control. Mm-hmm. And they would not have to force if they were getting everybody to do it. Mm-hmm. They would not have to do that. So they're losing control. And when they lose control and when that demon dies, because that demon will die, and I hope it happens in my lifetime, when it does, a philosophy will need to take its place. Now, as an anarchist, I want to talk about voluntary cooperation and those kinds of ideas. Mm-hmm. I'm good. If the philosophy of Hotep and Build is what takes its place, sign me the fuck up. I get the house on the left. And I'm right there with it.
You get the house on the left. I get the house on the right. The best barbecue you ever seen, baby. Chad brings a smoker.
I'll be smoking the brisket in the house in the center.
Listen, you bring all the garden goods. You smoke the brisket. I'll bring the entertainment.
Yeah.
We got
was
it.
That song I was playing for you when we were in Vegas? It's like we got the crawfish burling, ribs on the grill.
I said, man, you end up a country boy.
It's time to chill. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'll tell you what, though, one of these days, and I'm hoping it happens next year, we're going to have a little Anarch-con too, and we're going to get our Anarchs. And Jonesy, you have got to come to this thing. We're talking about going to Chad's, to his parents' house in Tennessee, and if we can pull that off, dude, just the fun that we will have. Yeah. Just bullshitting beyond all the philosophy and all that stuff, man. That would just be amazing.
We're gonna have to
for all of us to,
facts, and we're gonna have to ask him for like specific page numbers of when something was, because that's the only way you can trump him on anything. Like, because you'd be like, all right, Marcus, who said this? And he'd be like, that was and whoever. It'll be like Voltairine Declare or something like that. And I'm like, fuck. Like he because Marcus just
like that was Jeffrey Duscher circa 1980, 1859.
Like the page and paragraph number, or it doesn't count, Marcus.
Yes, right, and then I'd be fucked because most of the time I get most of the quote, but I fuck up the quote a lot. But I get the gist.
But hey, look,
I gotta bolt because we're over at my parents' house. It's getting late, and we're trying to get my mother-in-law back home and everything. Hopefully we still have power when we get back, but no, this has been awesome.
Real quick, Jonesy, did you say who's Voltairine Declare or who's Voltaire?
No, I know. I was just making a joke. I was
like, okay.
No, he was doing a Jeopardy answer, like
nice.
Who is Voltaire or something like that.
Right, for sure. But Jonesy, thank you for joining us tonight. And
I'm sorry, I didn't add much value to the show.
The hell you didn't. Shut up. Whatever. Oh hell, dude, you are always welcome here. You know that because you're my brown brother, man. That's just where it's at.
We already know, man.
Right. And so, I really have to say, and I know that people might get right. The thing is, man,
I mean, technically, like Marcus is kind of red right now, so like colored, like makes sense.
I told Marcus, he is the Danny Glover. He said, I'm too old for this shit.
For sure, dude. I am too old for this shit. I want to sit at home and do nothing. I wish the state would just stop being dickheads. I would love to be able to sit back, play my drum, talk to God, and smoke a bunch of weed. That's what I would love to do every day. But unfortunately, unfortunately, we got a state that says they're trying to kill my kids, and I got to do something about that. So
fight the power.
That's right.
All right.
But I got to say, Chad, to you, just in closing, I really appreciate everything that you have brought to this channel. And I want to say that it was you that brought me to the Hotep Nation, and I will be indebted to you forever for that as well. So
there we go. Hotep Nation represent. There you go, Jonesy. I see it.
Hotep Bill.
Hotep Bill. That's right. Love everybody. Thanks all the Hotep Nation folks for coming in and join us. And again, thanks to
shout out to this man too.
Yeah, thanks to Hotep Jesus, Uncle Hotep, MG, Dodoobs, Brody, and Halima for putting on an amazing weekend for and all the folks at Ahern Hotel, Chef Mark, and all those guys. Like they blew us away from sun up to sundown every day, and then even well past sundown. On some nights with food and drink, like until our hearts and guts were full. It was amazing, and I can't wait until next year. If y'all missed it, I don't know what to tell y'all, but you better not miss it next time. Don't miss it again. And with that, Marcus,
stay free, my friends.
Peace.